Guys, I think that we're doing whimsy wrong. The whole internet got it wrong, and this is why. Stay with me. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Alanis. If you're new here, I talk about fashion. But today will be a little bit different because I'm talking about whimsy. Anyway, before we get into it, I am gonna show you my outfit. I think it's really cute, and I've just got done up for you, so I'm gonna show you. So guys, these are my jeans from TJ Maxx, and then I've got on these platform flip-flops from Depop. I have this like little lingerie piece that I got for Valentine's Day. Well, I bought it for a Valentine's Day photo shoot. These are the pictures. They're super cute. Go follow my Instagram. So all my jewelry, most of it is thrifted, so I'm not going through everything. This is the makeup. Oh, my earrings, so bomb. Okay, they're so bomb. I keep seeing the word whimsy everywhere, and I mean like the word. We're not even using it correctly. How to dress whimsy, and like grammatically that doesn't even make any sense, but that's not. I think being whimsical is a good thing. I'm not hating on the whimsical trend, okay, but I would like to acknowledge that I think the internet has turned it into an aesthetics war, if we will. The internet does that to a lot of things, and when something becomes being about an aesthetic, that drives overconsumption, you know, and it's about buying things and who has what, and let me buy these ribbons and let me be so coquette because that's so whimsical, and then blah blah blah, lace pink. As I'm sitting here with lace and pink on, like I understand. I think it is fun to cosplay, and it's fun to play dress up to play. I think that's, you know, important, but I don't think that's what being whimsical means. I kind of came to this conclusion because one night I was reading the Bible, which I'm trying to like read my Bible every night. I was on John chapter 1 verse 4 through 5, and I wrote it down for you guys. Yes, I did, because I'm a great YouTuber. You're welcome. I'm not sure if I wrote it like word for word. Hopefully I did, but I'm gonna read it. It says, "In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." And then I said, this means to live is to be full of light, to be full of God. This light shines in the darkness and will always overcome darkness. This is whimsy. To live with light is to live with joy, to choose every day that you're going to walk through life with a sense of optimism, maybe. You know, I found myself asking, like, you know, what if living whimsically, living with light and joy and all these things is a practice? Because, you know, you have to choose to do it every day. It's not natural to be happy all the time. I don't think, you know, you're supposed to be happy all the time. It is the practice of living carefree. It's the practice of doing things just because it makes you happy. I think that's what it means to choose to live with light. Also, obviously, like biblically, it just means to follow God. Authoritatively, that's what that means, but practically it means to do good, you know, to be good, do things that make you feel good, do things that make others feel good. And it's not an aesthetics war. It's not about, you know, what it looks like. Making a fun aesthetic is obviously like super fun. I do it, you do it, we do it, but that's not what life is about. It's not about curation. I think it's about practice. Even when we're doing something that seems, you know, not positive, it's always to be productive, or it's always to post about it. Low-key, I think we were like kind of taught to do that, you know, show and tell. That started in pre-K, you know. Over time, like, instead of just having something that you love and that you want to share, you start looking for things to share, and then therefore you love it. And I think that we have it all backwards. We should be doing things the other way around. I should go on this walk because it makes me feel good, and if I end up capturing a beautiful moment on my phone and I want to post it, and I want to find the song that I was listening to on my walk, then so be it. I should post it. But I don't think, you know, that we should go on this walk because it's hot girl walk and that's gonna be trendy, and so I'm gonna make this TikTok and this Olivia Rodrigo song and it's gonna be great. Not everything has to be that way. To come back to my point, point with whimsy and being whimsical, the literal definition of being whimsical is, wait, hold on, let's look it up. The quality of being playful, fanciful, and slightly unpredictable. Keyword, slightly unpredictable. It involves acting on a sudden imaginative desire rather than strict logic or reason, adding a sense of light-hearted surprise and childlike joy to everyday life. Essentially what this means, doing things that are gonna make you happy, even if it doesn't make sense, even if you didn't think about it logically, or even if your parents are like, what are you doing? That is to live with whimsy. It brings a lightness, like I said, a childlike joy. It doesn't mean to be a child, it just means to have a lightness, like to have a sense of nonsense. You have a sense of nonsense. You don't think about things, you just do. Not in a irrational, like crazy way, but in a joyful way, in a light way. Like I said, to follow the light. We kind of stepped away from that and making these good things like going on a walk or journaling or drawing and getting into art and reading, all of these things that help us to heal us or to make us happy, all these hobbies, and we make it into content, and we kind of take away the spontaneity of it, if that makes sense. Even when people are like, how to be whimsy, there is no guideline on how to be whimsical, because the point is it's unpredictable. It's acting on sudden urges. How can you teach that? You can't. I don't think you can. I could give you a list of things. I do have a list of things that I do personally just to share, but ultimately I think it comes from you. Like, what do you want to do? And I think that if you don't have things that you want to do, that's when you know that you're not living with light. When you don't have anything that sparks joy in you, that's when you know that you're going the wrong way, babe. Like, we're not I don't know whoever you believe in, but I know that for me, I believe in God. God is going to guide me into the life. Even if I have hardships, I'm not saying that you just have to be happy about everything and that you can only ever do what you want to do, because sometimes life doesn't work that way. We also have to be real with ourselves. I feel like on social media, we live in this like fantasy world, and that's why the word whimsical or the word whimsy has become so trendy, is because social media is literally like a fantasy world, and that's what people have now associated with the word whimsy. You can have whimsy in moments of darkness. That's because it's not about the things that you do, but it's about the intentions behind doing them. For me, personally, it's about, like, my makeup. I love to do my makeup, and especially if I'm having a bad day, it's not about putting on makeup and looking a certain way so that maybe, oh, this boy will notice me on my story and now I'll have a good day. That's not what it is. It's me giving myself me time, me caring for myself, grooming myself. It's like with a dog. Like, you're not gonna rub your dog, wash your dog, brush your dog because they want to go see the other neighborhood dog. No, you're doing it because you love the dog. Like, and that's gonna, it creates a bond. It's same with yourself. You have to do these things, do whatever you want, anything that you want. And it's about intention, anything that you want with intention, and because you love yourself. If you don't love yourself, if you're working on that, I think that's how you get there too. You just start doing things as if you did. Think about someone that you do love. Well, what do you want to do for them? Do it for yourself, then do it for them. Like, showing love, I think, is the best way to become to live with whimsy, to have whimsy. And even just, for myself, fashion and, like I said, makeup and hair, those things really matter for me. And it doesn't matter a lot for other people, but, for me to live whimsically would be to wear heels anywhere I go. Because I don't do that every day, but when I see people who are wearing heels, like, I'm just like, oh, that would make me so happy if I could just wear heels all day, every day. Babe, I want to do that. Like I'm beaming just thinking about it. Like, I love that. It brings such a sense of happiness and joy and empowerment for me. And that's why I would do that. Not because, oh, like, it's so cute. I mean, it is so cute, but it's not for the aesthetic of things. That's what I'm trying to get across this whole video, and I hope that I'm doing a good job, and I hope you understand. This discussion honestly isn't about clothes. It's just that I so happen to love that, and that's what makes me happy. And so for me, that's what it is. Like I said, it's about loving yourself, you know, writing to yourself. And I don't know how to say, contentized journaling and gratitude. They don't hold the same sense of value when you say it. For me, journaling is like having a conversation with yourself without seeming crazy. To build a relationship with someone, you have to have a conversation with them. So I think we owe it to ourselves to journal, to write to ourselves, to our present selves, not just to our future selves, because I think we can get caught up in being like, oh, like, I'm writing this so that I can look back on it. No, I'm writing this so that I can know what I'm thinking, because sometimes I don't know what I'm thinking. Sometimes I don't have a thought. Sometimes I don't know what I like to do. Sometimes I don't know what I want. And that's how you lose yourself, when you start to not know yourself, when you start to not trust yourself, when you start to not do things that make you happy because you don't know what that is. Write it down. It doesn't have to be my dear diary type. When you're journaling, you don't have to get to a conclusion. You can ask 10,000 questions and close the book. When you go on your walk, you don't have to count your steps. Put on a cute outfit if you wanted to, just because you feel like it, and go on a 5-minute walk. And no one's gonna judge you, because guess what? No one has to even know. Or people who can know. You can tell people. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. So give yourself permission to do things without it being productive. In an overproductive society, living whimsically is about doing some things that don't produce an outcome other than happiness, you know. And maybe that's what living with light is, you know, other than just following God. But maybe that's what it is. It's love, you know. Jesus is love. It says that in the Bible. Leading with love is just how we should be living our life. The world turned something that could have been so like beautiful and monumental for this overproductive society to relax and just do things for the fun of it. And we turned it into a trend, and we turned it into an aesthetic, and into a buying opportunity, into content and all these things. And that's just what happens, you know. I'm not necessarily complaining, because that's what I'm doing. Like, I love it. I don't really profit from it, but I benefit from it because it makes me happy, you know. I like to post on social media. But yeah, all in all, I think the world got whimsy wrong, and that's just my opinion on it. I feel like I kind of have reiterated myself 1,000 times, and I'm sorry if I did that. I hope that you subscribe and like if you want more. Follow my Instagram and my Depop. I am on Depop now. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.